In India, the struggle for a paycheck has spilled into the streets. Movements led by groups like the Cockroach Janta Party have turned widespread frustration over unemployment into a moment of immediate political urgency. The challenge is defined by its massive scale. India possesses the largest youth population in the world, a demographic wave of millions of young adults all searching for their first meaningful entry into the workforce at the same time. The standard political response is to focus on the classroom, promising that fixing the education system will automatically solve the joblessness crisis. But the data suggests that graduation caps aren't the missing piece of the puzzle. When the graduates are ready but the desks remain empty, the focus shifts from the workers themselves to the way the economy is wired to function. It raises the possibility that the issue isn't a lack of skills, but a lack of space for those skills to be used. Ultimately, the calculation is simple. If this massive youth population cannot find work and raise their incomes, the engine of national economic growth effectively loses its fuel. To spark that growth, the current primary strategy focuses on aggressive reforms to improve the ease of doing business, clearing the way for corporate expansion and higher efficiency. A central part of this push involves integrating artificial intelligence across every sector, from farms to hospitals, with the goal of maximizing output while minimizing human error. But this strategy overlooks a specific metric called employment elasticity. This chart shows the formula. It's the ratio of how many meaningful jobs a country creates for every single unit of GDP growth it generates. Looking at India's timeline since the market reforms of the 1990s, we see a troubling trend. While GDP has climbed significantly, the job creation line has remained stubbornly flat. The country has struggled to turn wealth into work for decades. AI acts as a devastating catalyst for this trend. Because AI is built to produce more while requiring less human involvement, we see productivity spike even higher, while the jobs created line starts plummeting. This is the core paradox facing Indian leaders. The very technology they are using to modernize the economy is designed to make their greatest asset, that massive youth population, economically obsolete. India isn't the only nation grappling with this. China is the only other country on Earth managing human capital at a scale exceeding 1 billion people. This chart compares their trajectories over the last 30 years. It shows that the per capita income of Chinese citizens has risen roughly 8 times faster than that of Indians. Despite having this head start in wealth, China is aggressively chasing this same technological future, investing billions of dollars to establish itself as a global AI superpower. The results are visible on factory floors like this one, where rows of automated robotic arms have replaced the thousands of human workers who used to drive China's manufacturing engine. This automation has moved beyond the factory and into service jobs. Autonomous robots are now being used to deliver food in restaurants, taking over low-barrier roles that were once a reliable source of entry-level employment. Even for an economic powerhouse like China, this rapid adoption of AI has triggered a crisis of confidence, leaving workers anxious that they are being phased out of their own economy. The Chinese government views this through the lens of history. They know that when a large population of educated, unemployed youth feels the system has left them behind, the stability of the entire state is at risk. As unemployment for migrant workers and youth reached new highs, the state chose to respond to the growing online anxiety rather than letting tech companies dictate the terms of the transition. Chinese courts ruled it illegal to lay off a worker to replace them with AI software, stating technology should liberate labor. The Ministry of Human Resources then mandated tech companies adopt social responsibilities, directing AI toward improving people's livelihoods. By leaning into an employment-first strategy, China is attempting to navigate the AI crisis by restraining the very market forces that would otherwise prioritize automation over people. While China leans into worker protections, India is currently moving in a different direction, recently consolidating its labor regulations into 4 new codes. These new Indian labor codes prioritize corporate efficiency, which involves diluting some existing worker protections and environmental rules to make the country more attractive to investors. This efficiency push aims at a grand national target, Viksit Bharat, the government's plan to transform India into a developed nation by 2047. But for that goal to be realistic in an age of AI, the current priorities may need to flip. The celebrated metric of ease of doing business will likely have to become subordinate to a more fundamental goal, the ease of living and earning for every citizen. This would mean adopting hardline policies that force employers to take financial responsibility for retraining their staff for an AI-driven market, rather than simply letting them go in favor of cheaper software. To survive the automation age without social breakdown, India will have to decide if the rights of its workers are worth more than the profit margins of its investors.